Hi, everybody. This is General von Hoffman. I'm super excited to come to you today from the Maintenance Support Group, and we're talking with Mr. Jeff Wandry, the director, and for a change, I get to ask the questions of him. And he and his group have really stepped forward in our response for COVID-19, and he's going to tell us a little bit about that. So with that, I'm also going to point out we are standing 6 feet apart. If we were not able to stand 6 feet apart, we will follow CDC guidelines and wear our masks. This is one I fashioned for myself last night. It is definitely a prototype, and I'm working on it. But for the rest of this, so it's a little bit easier for you all to understand, we'll stay 6 feet apart. And I'm going to ask Jeff a few quick questions that are coming up, not just, obviously not just from the support group, but from across the complex. So Jeff, can you tell us real quick about the supplies that are available and what each area needs to do to ensure that they have what is needed?
Sure. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. We do find that getting supplies is very difficult in today's environment. However, we have a team that is expert at finding what can't be found and getting it on hand. So you can see here we have displayed some of the stuff we've been able to get. We have quite a few spray bottles that we have poured down from gallon-sized containers into the kind of solution that will disinfect your areas. So we have that, plus we're trying to source some wipes that pull out of a container that you could use to also wipe down surfaces as you go. So for your daily clean plans, for your as-you-go plans, we are trying to get you the cleaner you need, and we have some on hand right now. So to get a hold of that, and we'll post this, actually it's already at the COVID-19 OOALC website. Where you go, it's a SharePoint link, and each of you have a group representative that can make these orders to get you the cleaning supplies you need.
One question, Jeff, hand sanitizer?
So hand sanitizer is a problem. We have yet to get any new hand sanitizer in. I believe we have a source that might be able to get us some within the next 2 weeks, but we're not sure. So hand sanitizer is going to be an issue for us. We're trying to get creative. We're looking at maybe buying some of the components of hand sanitizer, like the isopropyl alcohol, some aloe, and some lemon juice, and maybe make that on our own. But we need to follow the rules as to how to do that, because that is personal use items, so we have to do that carefully. But right now, we don't have any on hand.
Okay, thank you. I'll just get you to hold it. Response time when an area needs to be cleaned or sanitized is someone, if we have a presumed positive case or a positive case.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. We have put together a checklist for supervisors and for my environmental response team to work together when we do have the case of either a presumed or a positive identification of COVID-19 in the workplace. Our goal is to get that workplace clean and back to work. So that response time is almost immediate. It's found out, the supervisor gives us a call, we could be on scene immediately. However, it is recommended by our biomed team that we wait 24 hours so that those surfaces dry before we do any industrial cleaning. That industrial cleaning, we have an industrial cleaning contractor ready to go. They can respond, we've had them respond within 2 hours to an area that had already gone through that 24-hour waiting period. And we can get those areas cleaned to industrial specifications, and then after that, using our supplies here, a little self-cleaning will get that area back into operation, ma'am.
One of the things, none of us were prepared for this, Jeff, and I want to say again, the maintenance support group really stepped out and said, we don't have a playbook for this, but we're going to figure it out. Can you tell us so far some of the lessons learned?
Well, sure, and I think the key is agility, is to be able to think out of the box. Each and every one of our squadrons, whether it's the Paint and Blast and NDI squadron, the Plant Services squadron, the Laboratory squadron, and then our support staff that is getting the material. We normally would just get this for our own operations, but we are working on behalf of the entire complex to support everybody in this time. Another key to agility is maybe thinking out of the box. For example, in our laboratories, we have 3D printers. Those printers are usually used for shop aids or maintenance devices, But right now, we're looking at possibly using those printers to create mask, face mask structural members that can help for long-term wear of a face mask, or the visors that would hold the goggles for operation in a COVID environment. So using those, and those 3D printers can maybe even be used for things like ventilator parts. Those are all things we're looking at. It's just an idea, but it's part of being agile in a situation like this.
Agile and innovative. Really
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate your folks. So many people in your team, Jeff, have stepped out. Do you want to do a quick shout out to anybody?
I do. There's a couple guys standing around right now, just off camera. Jim Weeks, Larry Richens, and their team have done amazing from the beginning, sourcing, finding, and getting on site the material we need to do our daily clean plan. So Jim and his team, just my thanks to y'all. They're just amazing. But I also want to shout out, also on Jim Weeks' team, is the tool crib attendants. They're everywhere, and they're interfacing with your folks, and I hope what you're seeing there is that they're cleaning the tools before they get them, and they're cleaning them as they get back to reduce that risk. We're also in support of returning work sites. The engineering team is there to support you. So Alan Cooley, Kira Harper, and Guy Whalen have been on the leading edge of supporting your team when it comes to that. And then, of course, all the other folks on our team. There's just so many to name out, but of those that come to mind, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Thanks so much for joining us and answering some of the questions that are coming forward. We're going to let you know, we know hand sanitizer is an issue. It is an issue across the entire country. We are going to try to find some innovative ways to produce some if we're allowed to. Short of that, you all know what you need to do. Keep the places disinfected. We are able to place that out in the workplace. Continue the enhanced cleaning routines that we have, and wash your hands. Where we've gotten new guidance, like I just said, that's going to be coming out on the cloth face coverings. That will help us as well. We'll get some more information out to you as soon as possible. We'll get that out. And with that, we're going to close out today. Thanks again, Jeff.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.